Hello, Wanderers. Welcome to Wandering Wednesday, Soul Wanderings with myself, AJ.
And Natalie.
And tonight is going to be a super fun night. We're going to have a grand time together. Get your calculators ready or your brilliant mathematician minds together.
Oh,
We're going to do
yeah.
some numbers. But before we get started, of course, there's some things we get to share with you. We are Soul Wanderings, and we've been doing this show for a long time. You can learn more about myself and Natalie at soulwanderings.com. We hang out at a really cool place called Vibes Mind Body Spirit, where we get to help people through grief, through trauma, through emotional healing, and all kinds of good stuff, extra stuff, spiritual stuff, life stuff, all the goodness. And you can learn more about that by visiting vibesnow.com. That's VIBEZNOW. And every week we pick a show topic to go over with Natalie's point of view, my point of view. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they are different. And we just pick our topics off our intuition or a common energy or theme that we see occurring and by listener request. And if you have a request for a show topic, you can email us at connect@soulwanderings.com or connect to any of our social media links and direct message us there. And that's what we do. That's who we are. And thank you all for being here. We see you in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Soul Wanderings every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain and 8 p.m. Eastern. So here we go. If you guys
Oh, my
remember,
goodness, you're good at that.
I may have done it for the past 9 years almost.
Lots and lots of practice.
Sometimes I'm on it and sometimes I am not. And sometimes I am full of it and sometimes I am not. But here we go. Quite a few years ago, 6, 7, 8, maybe even, Natalie was a guest on Soul Wanderings when I did the show on my own through the radio station that we were present previously on. And you all refer to her as the numbers lady. And we've had her on the show as a guest several other times since then because of that. And it's been quite a few years since we talked about numbers. So tonight, our topic is going to be life path numbers. And, you know, when we did Akashic Records and I kind of took over and did most of the show, tonight is Natalie's turn. I'm going to hang out, definitely. I have some input. But Natalie is just so good at this. This is her thing. This is her gig. She loves the numbers. And so tonight we felt like it would be a fun topic because sometimes the topics we talk about are too serious, necessary, but you know, we need the balance.
And it's a good thing it's one that I can just run off the top of my head. I was going to grab a couple of reference sheets, but well, my day just didn't go. Like, I thought that I was going to have some, no, like living in response. Just, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay. So I am sure I have inside of me everything that our listeners
Oh,
want to hear. And you'll ask me
absolutely.
questions and direct me.
I can do that. I can do that. So, life path numbers question, is it the same as numerology? Just a different title.
Okay, so numerology is the big overarching thing. Numerology is the study of numbers. And so within that study of numbers, uh, our life path is one of the aspects that you can pull out of numerology to understand your life better. Like to really tune into the arc of your life. So life path numbers is really, think about those words, life path, and the numbers that actually give you a very specific or personalized cue into what your life path is going to be about. And when I first started studying life path numbers, well, actually not when I first started, I have to say, you know, that that really well-known radio show that people listen to. It's on the AM radio station or on the internet now. When I listened to that way back when in the 90s, there's a pretty famous numerologist that was on the radio show. And it just intrigued me then. And from that show I took and I mounted an 8 in my office space where I handle all my bills, because 8 is a number that's associated with abundance or money. And so I started signing my checks and my anything that was related to money. If you've seen my signature, when I'm dealing with anything that's related to money, I put a little 8 after my signature. That's part of my signature.
I did notice that, and I remember asking you, what is that all about? That's cool. I doodle a heart after my signature.
We know what that's about, because you just hanging and spreading the love and bringing that love
everywhere. I put hearts everywhere.
So the life path number is what you take. Well, I don't know if you want to dive right into it, but to answer your question about it, numerology includes. So if you were to say, I'd have this book of numerology, like there might be a chapter on life path numbers, but there's going to be other chapters on a book about numerology, studying the numbers. So while I was driving a bit today and synthesizing, when I drive, I go into this meditative mind space, and it's like my intuition just will show me various things. So it was showing me that one of the things to bring up is, specifically when we get into life path numbers, is the awareness that you can take a large number and reduce it down by adding the digits. And this is part of the science of numerology, is you take the individual digits. So for instance, I know that last year was if you took 2024 and you added the 2 and the 2 and the 4, that got 8. So last year was an 8. And so if you do that with the 2025, this year is a 9 year, which is the ending of a cycle, because the next year will go to a 1 in numerology, the way that it works. And so a 9 year is pretty intense because it has to do with wisdom and integrity. And while I was driving, there was that saying that about when you have a large number, you're adding individual digits to get anyway. So it's about the synthesizing that said things are reducible. And in mathematics and number energy, things are reducible. A larger number will be reducible down to, in life path numbers, either reduced to 11, 22, or 33. Or if it's not either of those numbers, it's a 2-digit number, it'll be reduced down further. And then I wanted to just talk about this year, which is not life path numbers, but I want to talk about this year for a minute before we launch into the different numbers. This year being a 9, because here we are in October. That means that we're 10 months into the year of a 9 year. And 9, essentially, from the framework I use, 9 years are about wisdom and integrity. And we talk about the human design so much. The human design at its core is about having your own authority, which essentially is your own wisdom. And this feels like this is a year that's very much bringing us into that awareness. You gotta have inside yourself, because the external wisdom seems to be not readily available.
Yeah.
There's just so much information and such a split, and that finding an outer authority to trust these days does. Not saying that it's impossible, but that's an aspect of living in these modern times.
Right.
So that's a little bit of an intro to numerology and life path numbers.
Well, it was a great intro. Thank you. So, what I want everyone to do who's listening now and on a replay, because you can watch us on a replay as well, is add your birthday together. So, when we go over each number, you are prepared. So, what you're going to do, and I even add my zeros because I just like everything in order.
Mm-hmm.
So, add your birthday. So, the month, the day, and the year in its entirety. So if you were born, say, on January 12th, 1971, then you would add all of those together. So you would add 0. So you would add 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 1. And what would you get?
You would get 22.
You would get 22.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is where it gets tricky. And you don't have to do it in the chat, Bobby. I mean, you can share your number in the chat, definitely. So add all of those numbers up and you'll get a double digit. And then you want to reduce the double digit if it's not an 11 or a 22.
Or we can just say always reduce it, because there are some books. The book that I learned from is
either way
that you always want to reduce it, but the 11 and the 22 are considered master numbers, so they're reducible to the 1-digit number, but also have significance as a 2-digit number.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah. So reduce it, but also be aware of your double number.
Correct. Of the master life path numbers.
Right. So I have somebody who is sending me their birthday already. And so it's July 31st, 1987. So we would go 0 plus 7 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7. And you would get 36, which would be a 9. So this would be a good year for you. Double 9s.
Mm-hmm. And when there's a year, there's a lot of layers to numerology. So this 9-year would be very reminiscent of your life.
Right. And so like Ronald, where you say you have 21, it would be a 3. It would be a 21-3.
Right.
So do you want to go over each number, Natalie? Is that how you want to, should we go about it that way?
Sure.
Or do you just want to intuitively just start talking about different numbers? Like, for instance, we had someone have the 36-9. So do you want to do that, or should we just go in order?
Let's just go in order. I mean, okay. I sort of introduced 9, but let's start.
And I love the master numbers 11, Charles. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well. So if you listened before years and years and years ago, this will be a refresher or remembering. And if you have never heard of this, sit down, hold on tight. It's a good time. I love this information. It's just fun and validating. Okay, ready, set, go.
Okay. Now, rarely, I don't even know that it's possible for anyone to have a 1 or a 2 as a life path number, because I don't know that any birthday would reduce. Well, actually, that's not true. Not true. So a 1, because a 10 would reduce to a 1. So with the number energy of a 1, and this is actually, there's a universal definition or energy that goes to 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. It's really fascinating when I've studied multiple frameworks of thought or interpreting life, how consistent there can be this continuity that goes through numbers. So 1s are, of course, it's 1. It's an individual. And so a person that has a 1 as a life path number are really quite a force, independent. There's a lot of creativity with ones, very powerful creative force with people who have ones in their life path, including the double digit number. So if you have one in your double digit, you're going to have one that's across your life path. So people that have a one in their life path number are here to overcome issues around creativity and confidence. And so people that have life path numbers as ones, you're inherently going to have issues that have to do with those things so that you can overcome that. That's the thing about life paths. We are given life experiences to overcome the issues around what our number energy is here for. You know, it's written in the stars, it's written in the numbers. Your life experiences in many ways are sort of drafted out. You know, you're going to have issues. Person that has one in there is going to have issues around creativity and confidence. A lot of times ones appear very confident. They have this ability to stand in that power of one, but inside they've got this lack of confidence going on. And so I remember that if you have this one, creativity and confidence are your keywords.
And courage.
And courage.
I remember courage for number one was a really big thing.
So those are the things to remember with the one. And then with a two.
Hold on, can I say something on the one?
Yes, you can.
So I have the sheet that I always used to reference when I was memorizing things, and one was always like live the life you want to live, like break free from the normal path. You know, like create your own path. Walk your own walk.
So part of the reason why that's said is because you're here to do that. You're here to be an individual. So you're going to have characteristics that are representative of that. You really are here to walk your own walk. So the courage and the confidence are there for you to do your own thing. Yeah. If someone is an 11, that's 2 ones. So that's a double that energy.
And 11s are master numbers.
And they're master numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, master number means I'm 22. So what it means for me is that I'm definitely given a bit more in life. Now, I don't know exactly how to compare my life with others, but I feel like I was born to live a life of a master or to master life, really. And so the opportunity is there to do that. Anything else you can think of on the ones?
No, I think you did good. Moving on
to 2. So the life path 2, since 2 is team and 2 things are like 2 individuals come together, 2s are here to work and overcome issues that have to do with cooperation and balance. So there's inherently, I remember when I was reading, wherever I was reading in the various places I was reading, I had this impression, this idea within my mind of my inner self, like 2 people in the rowboat rowing different directions. So we have to all right, we're going to have to get cooperative inside of myself. So often I'll have these 2 sides trying to figure out the balance of the thing, or I've got 2 parts of me that are arguing about it, something like that. So it's learn how there's 2 sides in the person. There's double the energy. Really, for me personally, it's about really finding teamwork, but not a huge team, but like a tandem team works really well for me. So overcoming those issues that have to do with cooperation and finding the harmony and the balance in life. So balance is important for people that have a life path 2. If you're out of whack, something's out of balance, you gotta come back to that rootness and find that balance. One of the things that I do know is I like to definitely be solidly in my body. And I'm not sure if that's part of my two-ness or my Capricorn nature, who knows, but there is part of that through my experience.
And twos are sensitive. Like their sensitivity is their superpower, from what I understand. Like their ability to connect to others comes through their sensitivity.
Maybe that's that, when that ability to notice when things aren't in balance.
Yeah.
That would make sense to me.
Twos.
Okay.
Those
Twos.
If people around me observed me, they would know what number I was by the end of this for sure. I'm a very predictable life path number, but I'm not a two.
No.
Sensitive? Yeah.
In a different way.
In a different way, but
yeah.
Okay, so life path number 3.
So if your life path number is a 3, you're here to overcome issues that have to do with sensitivity and expression. So I find people that are 3 life paths very, very expressive in their way. They have their own way of expressing things. It's important for them to overcome issues about their self-expression, their ability to express themselves in whatever way that looks like. And often I find 3s are talkative people.
They're very social is what I get from 3s. They're like the social bees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy to talk to, but there's a level of sensitivity in 3s. And I would say that's to the environment around them or to the people around them. They have a sensitivity in them. And sometimes that sensitivity actually reduces or restricts their expression. Or the lack of sensitivity is what they're here to overcome. So 3s may be may lack the sensitivity that they have potential of being. So, or, this can get distorted. We're here to overcome issues that are inherent with these keywords. And so the sensitivity of a person with a 3, either in their 2-digit numbers or as their life path, have to work to overcome that sensitivity and leverage it in their expression.
And I like all of that information. I'm like looking at the other side of things because 3s, because they are the social bees, they're like the life of the party. They're like the ones you want to hang out with when you go somewhere because they bring the fun.
Yeah.
I feel.
I
don't know very many 3s, but when there's someone that is like really like everyone surrounding, it's interesting to go find out what number they are. Coincidence or not, but yeah.
Yeah, and
they're very charming.
What? Oh, charming.
Very charming.
I happen to, it's just interesting that I earlier in my day today, I calculated a life path number for someone I was interacting with. Didn't know this person, just barely met him today. And he ended up being a 30. So his 2-digit number was 30, 3 and 0. And so that reduced to a 3. And he was definitely charming and quite capable socially to interact. So it's funny. I was like, oh, you're 3, like really deeply a 3.
Yeah.
Just to see cool. That. Yeah, it was fun.
All right. Life path number 4.
4. So 4s are here to overcome issues around stability and process. So there's a couple of significant things for 4s. That is that everything is a process. It's a process. It's a process. It's a process. 4s are not here to skip steps. When 4s skip steps, they find they have to go back at the beginning, start again,
Sure.
and do things in a step by step basis. So that means if you're a life path 4, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to go out of order.
Right.
It
No,
creates chaos.
right. But I do find that people that are 4s have to learn that they have to do things as a process because they don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to go in order.
Mm-hmm. And the stability, 4s are very foundational. The just to picture the number 4, it's actually, it doesn't, if you look at it with just the tail, I don't know why this, I'm just intuitively saying this, seems to be sort of tippy on that, but
if you turn it around, it's a chair.
Right. Yeah.
That feels pretty stable.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a good sit.
4s, if your life path is 4, you may have to go and do some of that childhood trauma, or have some conversations about things that happened in your childhood, to stabilize that foundational energy that maybe wasn't stable when you were growing up. So 4s can really benefit from clearing it up, or going back and having conversations just to work through. I know I'm a life path 4, so I remember at one point I was just compelled to have a conversation with my mom, and about some part of the stuff that happened when I was much younger. And it wasn't a very long conversation with my mom, but it felt good to me to have it.
Mm.
And it was basically just telling her I realized that the way I behaved when I was younger had an impact on her.
Mm.
And it did. It felt good.
Good.
So there's part of that said, that might be an aspect of being a 4, to work your foundational things. And if you haven't laid a good foundation as a 4, 4s are going to have to lay a lot of foundation. 4s in relationships often are very friendship oriented. In their friendship or in their relationships, in whatever the relationship is, there's going to be that friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood sort of energy in that. With 4s.
Yeah. Number 5.
5. Oh, my people that have been around me that teach me all about 5s, because I don't have that.
Yeah.
5s are here to overcome issues that will come up around freedom and discipline.
Yeah.
So 5s desperately want freedom. And so 5s can often be runners. They will want to break.
They're like the free spirit.
They are free spirits. That is a real thing. And oftentimes they will definitely chase that freedom, want that freedom, desire the freedom. And they're here to learn that they will gain that freedom that they so want only through a very disciplined approach to life. And so it's not like the 4, which is a step-by-step process. Theirs is, maybe it looks like going deep in and creating a discipline within their life, whether they stay disciplined about their work, or so maybe 5s want to go all over the place and study all different kinds of things, but for them, they would be benefited by just picking a discipline or a course of study, or like the things that we talk about, like spiritual teachings, to go deep within a particular teaching. And definitely they are called to show up on a regular basis within their life. I know someone that's actually he has a life path 7, but he's at 25 and he's really struggled with discipline. And the thing that's really benefited him, I told him one time, I said, the thing about you is you just don't stay at it. And he's like, yeah, discipline, that's a word for me. Discipline, stay at it. You got to stay the course.
Yeah.
With 5s, then you gain that freedom that you want so much. You get that free spirit life.
Yeah, they definitely have a flow about them, I would say. Just like they learn through the flow
Mm-hmm.
when they're in their surrender. I love it. Our little airy fairies.
Yes. Do you remember
So,
anything else about the 5?
I just remember they're just like carefree, free spirited. They go with the flow. They're fun loving. Um, I feel like they're really great teachers. Like as far as like teaching us to be more childlike,
Mm.
more like I don't know, just appreciate the smaller things, like the little things, because they just see things so differently, I feel, in such unique ways. Um, yeah, I just feel like they're good teachers that way for us to not take things so seriously.
That could make sense. In human design, the 5 is associated with people that are inherently fixers. So I wonder if there's some part of that that's in
Mm-hmm.
the life path. They're here through that discipline and what they've discovered across, through that discipline lifestyle that they can provide and help people like fixers.
Yeah, good. It's really cool when you have the human design system and all of the things that entails, like the I Ching and a little bit of astrology, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, all the things. And life path numbers, like
Yes.
something completely different, but totally in alignment with the design. So it's pretty cool.
It is
Yeah.
fun to see the continuity.
Yeah. So then we have life path number 6.
Life path number 6. I find this is I have several 6s around me. It's very interesting to watch the 6 because of the different numbers that can go into forming a 6. But the core 6 are here to overcome issues around vision and acceptance. So the thing I find with 6s is they tend to have a perfectionist aspect to them because of the vision. They see how the world could be.
Mm.
And because they have this vision of the way the world could be, they struggle with understanding. So the acceptance part, so they're here to overcome issues that have to do with. So this vision of how things could be, and then the acceptance part that's said, and then they're here to really learn how that everything is innately perfect. Because with their vision, they're often really disappointed by life and by people not showing up the way that they think that they should show up or the way that the world should be. So there's this deep disappointment that can abide in people with 6s as their life path number.
I did not know that about. That's not what I remember 6s being like. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So the ones that I can see, they'll often talk like the world should be this way, and why can't it be this way? At least the ones around me, and I do find the ones around me do tend to have this thread of this that people disappoint them or the world disappoints them, and there can be this sadness within them in a way. And then the difficulty of having a perfectionistic aspect inside of you because of the vision, and then being challenged with acceptance. So the acceptance is the key for 6s. Accept the way it is. And that's inherently challenged when you have a vision of how it ought to be.
Yeah.
And inherently lots of issues can come up to overcome those. And to really learn the things. So think about that for a minute. If you're here to learn as a 6, that vision is what's vision all about, and the mind's eye and the visualization of things and acceptance. What's that all about? And then you're handed a life that shows up different than your vision. You're handed that. so that you can just deeply accept life
Yeah.
as it's unfolding and life as it is, and life here on the planet, whatever that looks like for each individual person. And what a benefit if you are listening to this, or you're listening on the replay, and your life path is a 6, and you just consider those 2 words for a little while. And you consider that. It's like, I'm here to learn acceptance. What this does, and what I would do when I would work with people, is it would narrow the focus of what you study. You just narrow your focus on your life. Just narrow your focus. Like if you're 6, oh, I'm here to study acceptance. Okay. Study it. Employ it. Because it's very personal to you, where it's not so much for a 4 or 2. That's not what they're here to really learn about. So you start to see that we're cut from cloth so differently.
Mm-hmm.
And we have such different experiences because of that. Because we're made up of such different energy, number energy from when we were born.
Yeah.
Now, I was reading from my book, this funny story in the middle of this. And I feel what I kind of remember might have been from the chapter that was on a 17/6. So a person that was born under the 17/6. But I was talking with a friend of mine, and he's like, that could be anyone. When I was reading, he's a 4. And so I was reading from his 4 chapters. That could be anyone. So I just randomly flipped to a page that seemed to have that energy of disappointment and read. And he's like, maybe there's something to this, because it wasn't like him at all.
Interesting how it works out.
It is true.
See, and I've always seen 6s as like really responsible, family oriented. Like they want their house to always be open to like connection and community. And I'm trying to think what else. I don't remember, but yeah.
And in the human design, the 6 has to do with people that are role models, and they have transpersonal energy about them. And so I could see how that could be a thread that would connect that 6, that with that idea about being, I need to have my people around me, because I'm here to be part of a village. And they really don't live their life fully without that interaction with other people.
Yeah.
Not here to be solitary people at all.
That's what it feels like. We do have a question from the chat room. How can someone learn how to connect numerology to human design?
So if you're studying numerology, you study the energy of each of the individual numbers. 1 through 9, and 0 also has a significant. And then you study the profile within the profile numbers 1 through 6 in human design. So then you would start to see the connection between the numbers. So it's not, only through understanding what was laid out in the human design system, which was laid out as a science. And so you would study the human design profile numbers and what's the aspects of that. And then you would see that there's threads. Yes, the profile numbers correspond to human design. Yes. Human design is such depth, amazing, and such depth that it can be really fun to study, but it is definitely not like you can do human design for dummies if you want. Human design is definitely lived, but very personalized. Human design is about knowing your specific design. So just like life path numbers, same, that either one of them are really good maps for your life.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah. I agree. I just like it all. Like all the information that I can use to learn more about myself, sign me up, right? Like, why not? So
I
let's move
agree.
on to number 7.
So people with life path number 7s are here to overcome issues that have to do with trust and openness. So I have found that 7s often, when I explain that to a 7, they're like, oh yeah, I don't trust people. It's like, okay, so you're here to overcome issues about that. So that means that if you've been gone through some life experiences that have destabilized your trust, that's the point of your life, not to keep distrusting, but to figure out how you can trust. And a lot of it has to do with trusting and the openness part that said that I found 7s inherently want to be really private or to keep parts of themselves. I remember 7 that I talked to one time and I'm like, well, you just don't let me in. And he's like, there's just some places inside that nobody needs to go.
Yeah, and they're really spiritual too. I've noticed
Mhm.
that a lot of people who are 7s are like mystics and
That makes
spiritual
sense.
beings.
So if they carry that energy, there's some basic things about a 7. You're here to trust and open and show your inner light. And so, of course, they would be deeply spiritual because there's an innerness in them that's there to share with the world. You're to open up and share yourself with the world.
Yeah.
And if you've encountered things that have broken trust and you hide yourself away, that's the part, you can you're here to overcome that. Overcoming it helps you just narrow your focus on part of your healing work. Is so those trust issues, you don't carry them around forever.
Yeah.
You're here to really let go of that and trust that life is there showing up for you.
Yeah. So, like, listen to your rational side, but also listen to your intuition.
For sure.
Yeah. The balance of it all.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. Okay. Number 8.
Number 8. Oh, there's just an interesting relationship I have with people with life path 8s. There's something, I don't know. Maybe it's, for me, it's sort of a, okay, 8s. So 8s are here to overcome, and maybe you'll get an idea when I say. So 8s are here to overcome issues that have to do with power, and abundance. And so 8s inherently are very powerful people. They or disempowered people, because we live in this and thatness.
Yes.
And so because they're here to overcome issues around power, they inherently will live out power struggles in their life. And to deal with power struggles, that can be difficult. So sometimes you can just bull in a china closet sort of thing, or just pull back and not really live within your power and abundance. So 8s have that money energy that's involved with an 8 number. And so that means people that have abundance energy that's just a predominant part of them will they can like make a bunch of money, lose a bunch of money. And then maybe they do that all the time through their life, but they'll have a connection with money that's inherently there. They may be challenged with really looking closely at their relationship with money or abundance. And they may just push away abundance and not really claim what's a birthright. So many, if you really think about that, you have a birthright that has to do with abundance. But that doesn't mean that we live out what's our birthright. We have to overcome the things that get in our way.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like the number 8. I'm not a life path number 8 though.
Yeah. So
I just like how ambitious they are. Just like
yes.
really driven and really goal oriented. It's inspiring to me.
Yes. And that's healthy 8s. I've met some people that I can see the potential of that. because
Mhm.
they look at their life path number and see that they're just not in their power. Maybe because it's really powerful within your skin. And if we want to bring in human design, the one person I'm thinking of, wonderful young woman, just in her really early 20s, that's a life path 8, but she's also non-emotional in human design language. So her non-emotional nature that leaves her overly responsible for people's emotions holds her from really being in her power,
Mhm.
because she doesn't step into that place of power, because she doesn't want to rock people's emotional energy.
Mhm. That's fair.
So unwinding the knowing your human design and following your authority might actually continue to unpack your life path deeper. That it's all very, very compatible.
Yeah.
And it's all
And these
layers.
are cliff notes, you guys. Like,
Oh,
if you want to
yes.
know in a deeper level about life path numbers, there's a plethora of books and videos and, all the things.
Yes.
So let's talk about life path number 9.
9. We mentioned it in the beginning, but I'm going to just go over it again.
Yeah.
So wisdom and integrity. So 9s are here to really learn from their life, which is what wisdom comes from, is life experiences. And not all of them are there's so much wisdom that's gleaned from difficult and hard or painful life experiences. And they're really here to trust the wisdom of their heart. So 9s can be very heart-centered or
They're
heartbroken.
humanitarians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And wise. And so to overcome issues about those things, I remember working with the 9. This was before I started working with design. I really went deep in numerology with people because it was the framework that I could work with a person. And I remembered fostering her and realizing, or in the literature that I read, the 9s are often held up as to what to be like or how not to be. Because if you are out of integrity and you are a life path 9, that will kick your butt. It is that integrity piece that means 9s are held up. And if they're not in integrity, the world will call them out. You're being hypocritical, or that that integrity piece is very, very important for 9s.
Yeah.
Stay in integrity or get back into integrity. So studying that is important for people that have that life path number. And it's the oldest number. So perhaps people that are life path 9s have been through the ringer a few incarnations. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. Or maybe you've had multiple incarnations in this one body.
Yeah. And so when we talk about the master numbers, the 11, the 22s, the 33s, how does that affect is it just like a double, like an extra, like what does it mean in as far as life path numbers go?
So I'll just say, I'm going to answer this really intuitively. So if you think about an 11, that's 2 1s. That's double the frequency or the quality of a 1 life path. So it's extra challenging to have the 2 numbers on your path. So like you have twice the overcoming, twice the challenges, or twice the confidence and creativity, twice the creativity, or how forceful that is inside of you, and the confidence challenges. You're given this double digit energy to have to deal with. Well, that can really pull on a master levels course.
Yeah.
Like and the 2, so I'm a 22, 4. Am I 22? I guess inherently I have these extra challenges about cooperation and balance throughout my life. Now, I really find that this was that I had a lot of challenges given, or that how do I say this? I've been through a lot in my life that really do center around that cooperation, balance things. And I've really been benefited by understanding and accepting my energy as it is. I learned I was 22 a long time ago and lived within that framework, which really helped me a lot.
Yeah.
To stay balanced, I have to do things as a process. It's a process. There's no racing to a finish line for me. So, and I have noticed that when I just talk to different people, I only really know my life intimately. I don't know other people's life, but I can tell that there's a difference in, maybe I say, my full potential.
Yeah.
Like stepping into my potential. I can step into that master life path number. People often just say, wow, you're really wise. I lead people in a significant way. So that's what I see, the potential of a master life path number.
Yeah.
No matter whether you're living it out in a healthy way or an unhealthy way, you're going to really have a lot of impact on the world with those numbers. And maybe held up to a higher bar. I'd say if you want a master life path number, if you think that's so great, I wish I had a master life path number. You could say, maybe not.
No, I'm good.
Just lean completely into your life path number.
I was just gonna say before we wrap up the show. I mean, we still have like 5 minutes or something. I'm gonna post a question in the chat room, and I want listener participation. Has nothing to do with this topic. I just want to get your feedback while you're all still here.
Oh, good.
Listener vote next week. Type in caps, you guys, whether you're live with us on Facebook or YouTube. What do you want our next week topic to be? Archangels or Dharma? We haven't talked about either one. Okay, type them all in caps. We're already getting votes. Yes. Yeah, Maria, the hour has flown by so quickly. It just does when it's fun. It's like when we talk about the heavier stuff, you guys are like, oh, gotta go. It's bedtime.
So we still have 0 to talk about.
Yes, let's talk about 0. Keep those votes coming in.
Yes. So if you have a 0 in your 2-digit number, so if it adds up to 30 or 40 or 20 or 10, that 0 is inner gifts. So I find that people that have a 0 in their life path number, I wouldn't exactly call it psychic, but there's an inner gift that they have where they just, deeply intuitive, can really read people well. And so it's their inner gift, and it's there for them to really utilize and capitalize on it. So having that inner gifts is another aspect for anyone that has that 0 in their 2-digit number.
I didn't even know 0 was a thing. So that's cool.
Yep. You know someone with a 0 in their life path number.
I do?
You do. Someone that's a 4, but that 4 is a 4 because it's a 40.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
And then it's also interesting because that person that you know has the human design that's deeply sensitive to people.
Yeah. So it looks like on our vote side, we're getting more about the archangels instead of Dharma.
Okay.
We'll eventually talk about both, but looks like next week maybe archangels. That'll be fun.
Yes. I think that will be fun. So I want to
Yeah.
ask you, so how long have you really, do you feel like you've known about your life path number?
Since I've known you.
So it's like 8 years or something that we've known.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
how
it
has
was
it
one of the
helped you?
first things I feel like we talked about. It
Oh,
was very validating for me to know my life path number, especially because um when you are a certain way to a point where you're like, why am I this way? And it causes frustration in your life where, okay, so my life path number is the same as Natalie. We're both fours.
we are.
We're both fours. And so we have to have things in an order. And there's been so many times in my life where I feel like people didn't understand me because I couldn't be spontaneous and I couldn't go in and just go do the thing. I had to do this, this, and this first before I did the thing. And it drove me crazy. It drove me crazy. So, and I know the people around me were just like, what is wrong with you? But now I'm like, I just have to have things in order. I like things a certain way. And now I feel just very validated. Like that's just how I feel more at ease, more at peace. I like my systems. I like my strong foundations. I like all of these things that the four is for me now. Where
Mhm.
before I just felt like there was kind of something wrong with me, because I wasn't like everybody else. And so it's just very validating that, oh, just like with the human design, here's your permission slip to be yourself. Here you go.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm just like, it's it may seem so simple, you guys, to like life path numbers. Oh, that's woo woo or that's whatever. It really is amazing to have the freedom to be yourself. Like just be who you are, and not because the system told you that, but the system did share that that is who you are always meant to be. And so you're not having to prove yourself to be something that you're not or try to be something that you're not. You just get
Right.
to be you.
Right.
And I think there's so much freedom in that.
Right.
As
It-
simple as a life path number may be, and how
and
complex a human design system can be. It's
and
all very validating.
it really is.
Mhm.
And it's so beneficial. I want to just point out again that when I started using this, I really discovered when I started using this for myself, but also with clients, that there really is a way of personalizing your life and throwing out a bunch of things. So a lot of times people will study all kinds of things trying to get themselves aligned better. And they're studying things that don't even have to do with their life. But it's really cool knowledge, but it doesn't have anything to do with your life. You're not really
Yeah.
here for that.
Right.
If we were to just be like, we're here to search for freedom, you and I as fours, if we were trying to live like a five, there's sometimes I get a little envious of my five friend. I'm like, oh,
Same.
the freedom she has.
I
That's
know.
not for me. And if I tried to divert my life and live like that, I would definitely experience frustration.
Yeah.
I would be off kilter. I'm really not following my personal path. And
Mhm.
so knowing your personal life path really can tighten things up. It's a great way to align yourself.
Yeah, I agree. So much fun. What a great topic. Yay for life path numbers.
That's right.
So it looks like the votes are in. We'll be talking about archangels next week. And maybe we'll see. We'll check in on the energy and talk about Dharma the week after, or it may get pushed a little later. We don't know. But we've been feeling on the angels lately. So we love that you guys agree. And yeah, if you have a show topic that you want us to discuss, Make sure you write us at connect@soulwanderings.com. Share with your friends because we are new to the YouTube world on our own. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to having a small little tribe. And we are so grateful for each and every one of you. We just love hanging out with you. It's so much fun.
It
And the
is.
friendships we've made, so good. I'm so grateful for them. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Do you have any closing words?
Nope. Like,
Okay.
study your life path number. There's a lot of information out there. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah, let us know how it goes, you guys, because it's really fun to learn about yourself.
Oh, and of course, if they ever wanted to contact me, they can, they can reach out and learn more through me if they want.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to have a life path number reading, you can always reach out to Natalie. The ways that you can do that for either one of us is probably the best vibesnow.com, VIBEZNOW. There's all of our booking links there. You can also connect to those links by visiting soulwanderings.com. So either way, you'll get there to us eventually. Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. We hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you guys all next time. Good night.
Okay. Good night.